everyone and welcome back to the new video of this channel. So today we will be solving a problem which is find all groups of farmland 1992 problem. So let's see the problem statement. So problem is saying that we have given a m cross n binary matrix land where a 0 represents a hectare of 4x land and 1 represents the farmland. Okay. So to keep the land organized, there are designated rectangular areas of hectares of consist entirely of farmland. These rectangular areas are called groups. No two groups are adjacent, meaning farmland. So problem is basically saying that if there are two farmlands, two groups of farmlands, so there can be no adjacent or no common edge in between of them, then in that case they will not consider as a farmland. And we have to return the initial point of the farmland r1 comma c1 is showing the top left corner, and r2 comma c2 showing the bottom right corner. So we have to return the pair of r1 c1 and r2 c2. R1 comma c1 is showing the top left corner and r2 comma c2 is showing the bottom right corner, and we have to return this which length is 4. And this is the question. So now let's see the approach for this problem. So what are all the don't conditions that we don't have to do? So firstly I've told you about this key. If there are farmland, but first farmland is this one and second farmland is this one, so there you can see here is there is a common edge in between of them, so this can't make a farmland. So this is the don't condition that we don't have to do. And if you see this farmland, this is the first farmland and this is the second farmland. There is no common edge. There is a common point, but there is no common edge. So that's why it is considered as a good farmland. So because there is no common edge, that's why we are taking as a good farmland. So now third condition comes like how do we know that this is the initial point of the farmland? We know that one is showing the I didn't write it. One is showing the farm like I write here like one is showing the farm and zero is showing the land. It means one is showing the farm. You can see here if there is no top farm and there is no left farm, it means that this is the starting point. You can see here in this example there is no top farm and there is no left farm. It means that is the starting one. You can see here there is no top farm but there is a left farm, so that's why it is not a starting point. And you can see other farms also. So one is showing the farm and zero is showing the land. So we have to find the how many farmland we can generate, or this can be a question, but in this question we have to return the top left corner of the farm and bottom right corner of the farm. So now let's see the approach for this problem. The approach is very simple. Actually code. So in this code, what we are doing is we are just defining the size of the vector b dot size n equals to b dot size, and this is the column size b of 0 dot size. Now I am initially clearing my answer dot clear. Now I am applying two loops to iterate the whole matrix or grid. Now I am checking if b of ij equals to 1. It means that is the farm, so that can generate a farmland, so that is a farm. So what we can do is I am marking initially int r row and comma c column equals to 0, and I am applying a function here, and I am creating a vector which is showing I comma j comma r comma c. R comma c is the bottom left bottom right points, and I comma j is the top left points. And I am putting this vector into my answer, so answer dot pushback of t. And finally I am returning our answer. So now let's see the function, that is the major part. So this is a two, there are two vectors like x vector और y vector. x vector is x vector में क्या होंगे, x वाले जीरो होंगे, y वाले वन और माइनस वन होंगे. सो जीरो जीरो वन माइनस वन. अब y वाला वेक्टर है तो x वाले जीरो, सॉरी y वाला वेक्टर है तो y वाले जीरो होंगे, x वाले वन को माइनस वन होंगे. नाउ वी आर क्रिएटिंग अ 2D vector answer, and now we are applying a function here. In function I am passing x y row comma column points, that is denoting my bottom right points, nm the size of the vector, so sorry grid, and this is a vector. So now these are the bound conditions, like out of bound condition if x less than 0 or y less than 0 or x greater than equals to n and y greater than equals to m. In this condition I will simply return, and this is a base this is a condition like if v vector of x comma y equals to 0. 0 is denoting the land, so I'll not see the 0. I'll only see the ones because 1 is showing the farm. So this is also a base condition. If the value of this is 0, in this case also I will return. And if the value of these is equals to 2, 2 is showing the visited. It is like if I am here 1, I have traced this. Now I will mark it as 2 because that 2 is showing the that cell is visited already. So I will not go on this cell again. So that's why we are using 2 here. You can using question mark, factorial, anything to denote that this is a visited cell. So if the cell is visited already, then in that case, I will simply return. And now I'm marking at visited b of x comma y equals to visited. Now row r equals to maximum of r comma x. You can see here r comma x is the bottom right point. So if we find to the r comma c, so if you want to find the r, so r it will be maximum of r comma x and c will be maximum of c comma y. And now we are applying for all directions. So that's why we are using a loop for all directions. So I equals to 0 to I less than n, I plus plus, and x equals to dx of I and y equals to di of I. You can take it separately like x plus something, y plus something, then x comma y plus something, then x plus something comma y, then दोनों ऐसे ही x comma y. So you can write it separately, but I have applied a loop here, and because why I applied, because I have created a vector also, so x and y. So that's why I am applying a loop here, and finally we return our answer. So this was a code. Let's run this code and see if this will work or not. It is working perfect. Let's submit this code. Yeah. So it is same as the previous problem. Previous problem of the day. In that problem also we are created a visited array which is showing like where vector of x comma y equals to 2. That is denoting the that cell is visited already. So I will not go on that cell again. So that is the same problem, but in this problem what we are doing, this condition r equals to maximum of r comma x and c equals to maximum of c comma y, and now we are going through all directions. So this was the code, and then if you find this helpful, then please like, share, and subscribe. Okay, bye.